evening, East Alabama, and welcome into the locker room on this Tuesday afternoon. My name's Namath Pitts. Today we're going to be talking youth football as the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Association gets their Jamboree game started this weekend. We're going to be talking Walter Wellborn youth football today. But before we get into that, I want to remind you to hit that like and follow button on our East Alabama Now page so that you don't miss the locker room. We have the locker room 3 days a week right now, but on the last week of August, we will go back to having the locker room 5 days a week. Also, we have our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder has your local weather. Everybody loves seeing John Holder, seeing what weather he's going to be on tonight in terms of the weather on your street. And I will bring you your sports as we talk about legendary Jacksonville State University coach Jana McGinnis announcing her retirement after 31 seasons of leading the Gamecocks. 31 seasons is a long time to be leading a program. Well, for David Wormy Haynes, he's been leading Wellborn's senior group for, this is year number 55, his 55th year. David Wormy Haynes is a legend. You can only imagine the lives that he has impacted in 55 years. You're going to hear from David Wormy Haynes later on today in our show. Also, Jonathan Screws. He's been coaching Wellborn youth football for 12 plus years. Also seen some of the best talent that has come through Wellborn, come through the youth program. We'll be talking from Jonathan Screws later today. And we'll be talking with the Wellborn sophomores coach, Kalen Burton. This is his first year as a head coach. He was an assistant coach last year as he leads the sophomores group for Wellborn youth football. Wellborn has their Jamboree game this Saturday where they will be playing Alexandria. So yesterday afternoon, I went out to Wellborn youth football practice field so I could get some video of each team practicing, talk with the head coaches. And I want to talk a little bit about Wellborn youth football because I don't think you can say enough good things about the consistency of Wellborn youth football. You go back to, gosh, when I was playing and even before I was playing, when my brothers played and before they were there, it's always been the same. The seniors practice in the same spot, the juniors practice in the same spot, and the sophomores practice in the same spot. And also, by the way, Dina Grubbs does an incredible job leading the Wellborn youth football program, leading Wellborn youth sports in general. I love Dina. She does a great job. Love her husband, Dustin. Those two have poured a lot of time into the Wellborn youth programs over the years. And so I just think that Dina deserves for a spotlight. She deserves to be mentioned. And so I just want to just go ahead and not forget to give Dina a shout out. But we're going to start the show by talking Wellborn youth football sophomores. Now, yesterday we talked with Kalen Burton. But before we talk with Kalen Burton, I do want to show you guys some highlights of the Wellborn youth sophomores practicing. These highlights are presented by the Joey Cruz team with Keller Williams Realty Group. So before we get into our highlights, I'm going to take a moment to take a break and let my good friend Chad Barnett tell you more about the Joey Cruz team.
When finding your next home, you need someone who knows the area inside and out. That's why you need to call us. Hey everybody, Chad Barnett here with the Joey Cruz team at Keller Williams Realty Group. When it's time to move, you need someone who will advertise your home, show prospective buyers, negotiate the purchase contract, arrange financing, all of the ins and outs of buying and selling. But the best thing about the Joey Cruz team is we have individual specialized agents working for you. If we come list your home, that listing agent will be on your side of the table all the time. The buyer will be shown by another agent. This keeps your interest at the utmost respect on our side. We will always be on your side of the table. We can take care of everything you need from start to close, like staging, home repairs, minor improvements, whatever's going to make your house look the best when it's time to go on the market. That is what we do. Our job here at the Joey Cruz team is pretty simple. Make you the most money in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle. So if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, call the Joey Cruz team today and let us put your real estate needs in cruise control.
Thank you, Chad Barnett, and thank you to the Joey Cruz team for being our highlight sponsor. And so we're going to take a moment to look at the highlights as Kalen Burton's Wellborn Youth sophomores did some drills yesterday. So here's the highlights from Wellborn Youth football field. Burton is entering his first year as the head coach of the Wellborn Sophomores group. He was an assistant coach a year ago, and I talked with Coach Burton to kind of just pick his brain a little bit about, his coaching philosophy and why he does what he does in terms of taking time out of his day, because that's one thing about these youth coaches, guys, is they take time out of their day. They're volunteering their time. They're not getting paid. They're volunteering time out of their evenings to come and pour into a group of kids. And so I talked with Kalen Burton, who's a first-year head coach, assistant coach last year, and asked him what it was that made him want to be the head coach of the sophomores group, and here was his response.
I just love coaching and being out here with kids, man. Just teaching them the game of football and just being out here with them.
I think Kalen Burton probably has the biggest challenge out of the three coaches in the youth program is coaching the sophomores. He has the youngest group, which can sometimes be the hardest group to get to pay attention. They like to play in the grass. They like to do other things. The hardest to maybe get to remember things. So there's obviously challenges with coaching the sophomores group. So I asked Coach Kalen Burton what was his biggest challenge in terms of coaching the sophomores.
It's a little challenging sometimes, but we tried to build from the bottom up and just working on the little things first, getting the little things right, and then building off of that.
The sophomores will play in a jamboree game this Saturday against Alexandria. I asked Coach Burton what he was hoping to see in the jamboree game this Saturday against Alexandria.
I want to see how well we can move the ball on offense. See if we can get down the field and getting on the ball and working together as a team. That's the main thing I want to see. Something we can take from this weekend and build off and get ready for our first game of the year. So we'll have about a month after the jamboree to build off of what we see this weekend.
Coach Burton will do a great job leading the Wellborn sophomores. I wish them good luck this season. And again, I want to thank Kalen for taking time out of his day yesterday to talk with me. Thank you, of course, to Wellborn for allowing me to come to the youth football field yesterday and talk with all of their teams. Hey, we're going to talk with Jonathan Screws, the head coach of the juniors team, when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're talking Wellborn juniors football with Jonathan Screws. We'll be right back on the Locker Room.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Welcome back into the Locker Room on this Tuesday afternoon. Before the break, we were talking Wellborn sophomores football with Coach Kalen Burton. You saw the highlights of them doing some drills. Well, now we're going to talk juniors football with the Wellborn Panthers. The juniors football team is led by Coach Jonathan Screws. This is now his third year in a row of being the head coach of the juniors team. But Jonathan Screws has been around the Wellborn youth football program for probably 12 plus years. This is a guy that's coached players like Jet Smith, Coach Smith's son, who had great success. He coached the Gilbert twins. He coached his son, Noah Screws, who was quarterback for the Wellborn team last year that won a region championship. So he's got to coach. He coached me. He got to coach my brother. He's coached some of the best guys that have come through this Wellborn program. He's seen them in his time as a coach. But one thing about Jonathan, guys, is his sons are graduated. He doesn't have any more sons playing football. He does have two daughters that are cheerleading, but he has no sons that play football. They're graduated. Noah graduated. But he's still out here coaching, pouring into these kids. So ask Jonathan what it is that still has him out. Well, actually, let's do this. Before we talk to Jonathan, let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights, because he's got some guys that can hit. That's one thing I figured out about this juniors team yesterday, is they're going to hit. So before we talk with Jonathan Screws, I'm going to go ahead and show you the highlights. And again, these highlights are presented by the Joey Cruz team with Keller Williams Realty Group. Okay, now that we've seen the highlights, we'll talk with Jonathan Screws. Again, we talked about he's coached Jet Smith, the Gilbert twins. He's coached his son, Noah Screws. He's coached some of the best players to come through Wellborn that had success, but he has no kids that are still playing football. He does have two daughters that are cheerleading, but none that are playing football, and he's still out here coaching. So I asked Jonathan what it was that still has him out here coaching these juniors after all these years.
Well, I wanted to coach my wife cheer, and she wouldn't let me, said I was too mean, so I decided to come back out here and coach football. But what really drives me is seeing these kids develop, just seeing them grow and go from the juniors to the seniors all the way up to junior high and the varsity. You know, looking back on some of the kids we coached in the past, when Coach Smith first come to Wellborn, we had Jet Smith, and a lot of people remember the Gilbert twins. We had them, and they started right here. And, you know, that's what I think about youth football is this is where they're formed. This is where it all begins, right here. And if they stay together and stay with each other, then, it'll help all the way through. Looking back to Jet, we didn't win a championship here, but as they went on, they got better and better and better. I remember we played in the championship with those guys. We got beat by Randolph County. Jet's junior or senior year one, they come back and beat Randolph County, and that's what it's all about, grow together. Going to Noah, you talked about, that was one of the most exciting years that I've ever had coaching. We had 13 kids. We couldn't go out and buy a kid to play. We tried to get kids from everywhere, and we couldn't get them. We had 13 kids, and we ended up winning the championship that year with those 13 kids. Now, they went on the next year with the seniors, and those kids won another championship. Noah just graduated this last year and won a region championship, and those kids stayed together all from here all the way up. So going back, what I like about being out here is seeing the kids develop and grow up and become Wellborn Panthers.
Jonathan's team last year definitely took their bumps. It was a little bit of a roller coaster. But one thing he'll tell you is you kind of are going to hear him say in a minute is they really struggle with the line. He feels like he has a really good line this year. Obviously, with the juniors, some kids move up to the seniors group. But I asked Jonathan how many players he had returning this year to his juniors team.
I think we got 4 or 5. We're gonna have a pretty good. Group coming back. We're gonna be young, but we've got a good backfield. We've got a good line this year. That's what I'm most excited about. Last year we had no line, and that hurt us. And this year we've got some bigger kids, and like I said about our backfield, we've got Nolan McVeigh. He's going to be really good, a good athlete. We got Luke Swan. He's going to be really good. And Kavion, they're going to be tough on our backside and our front side because that's where it's at. I tell these guys all the time, if you cannot block, then you're not going to win games. And luckily this year, we've got some bigger guys, so we're excited about that. We're going to be young, but we're just going to go out, and I'll tell you one thing, we're going to hit some folks. We might not win many games, but this group I got, they will hit you, and we will hit some folks.
Jonathan and the juniors team will be in a jamboree game this Saturday where they will go head-to-head with Alexandria. Jonathan knows Alexandria really well, goes to church with some of them. So I asked Jonathan what he was hoping to see out of his Wellborn juniors team this weekend when they play Alexandria in their jamboree game.
You don't ever want to play Alexandria, but we're going to go out there and we're going to give it the best we got. They're a good team, a good coach. I go to church with all those guys over there coaching, and they're really good. So it'll be a good just to see how we line up with somebody different.
Jonathan does a great job again leading this program. Jonathan is one of the best guys that you'll meet, one of the best individuals. If you just take a moment to talk to Jonathan, you'll quickly realize that he is one of the best dudes that you'll meet, and he does things for the right reason. Great man of God, has poured a lot into this Wellborn program, poured a lot into the Wellborn youth programs, going back all the way to when his oldest son Mason played. And so I'm just really super thankful for the relationship I have with Jonathan. And if you're a juniors coach, just know you have one of the best coaches that is pouring into your kids each and every night. All right, hey, we're going to take another break. When we come back, we're going to talk with a legend, David Wormy Haynes, entering his 55th year coaching youth football. We'll talk with Wormy in just a minute as we continue on the Locker Room.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today.
We are back on the Locker Room on this Tuesday afternoon talking Wellborn youth football. Wellborn is a part of the Northeast Alabama Youth Athletics Association, which features teams all across. They have a small division and a large division of teams right here in East Alabama. In Calhoun County, they have now added teams from the Cherokee County area. They've also got teams, they got Mumford down in Talladega County. So very big league that ranges all across. Wellborn, though, will be playing Alexandria, another Calhoun County team, in their Jamboree game this week. And all eyes are on David Wormy Haynes, also we just known as Wormy. Not a lot of people even know that his name's really David because he's named Wormy. That's what everybody calls him. And Wormy has been around the program at Wellborn. I think this past year was the first year that he had missed a Wellborn football varsity game. Gosh, guys, before I was even born. And this is a guy that has been coaching. Wormy has been coaching Wellborn youth football for 55 years. Now, I'm 23 years old. So if you take my age and multiply it, that's 46. Yeah, Wormy was coaching. Oh my gosh, guys, he's been coaching football as long as my dad was alive. You know, Wormy's head coach Wellborn's head coach Jeff Smith. Wormy coached him. He's coached guys that have come through this program. Like he's coached not only Coach Jeff Smith, but he's coached his son Jet Smith. I mean, he has coached some of just historic names that have come through Wellborn. And I really think that when it's said and done, and you think about Wellborn, whether it's the youth facility, which I know right now is named after Mr. Henderson, which is much deserved, but whether it's somewhere in the youth program or somewhere at the high school, something is going to be named after David Wormy Haynes when it is said and done, and he deserves it. He deserves for something to be named after him. He has been pouring into this seniors group for a long time. This is year number 55. I think when he gets to when he meets Jesus, he is definitely going to hear, "Well done, my good and faithful servant," because he has done a lot for this community, and not just football, but ways better than that as well in terms of spiritual. So we talked with David Wormy Haynes yesterday, but before we share some of that interview with you, I want to show you some highlights of the team practicing yesterday. So here's the Wellborn Seniors Youth football team practicing, and these highlights are presented by the Joey Cruz team with Keller Williams Realty Group. Okay, you saw the seniors team practicing right there. We're now going to talk with David Wormy Haynes. 55 years. That is a long time. Why would someone coach a youth football team for 55 years? Well, here's David Wormy Haynes telling you why he is entering his 55th year and why he loves coaching at Wellborn.
Well, I just love this community. I'm just a Wellborn person. That's what it takes to be out here is Wellborn.
Wormy has seen a lot in his 55 years. He's won a championship. My brother Kane and their team won him a championship after coming back and beating Weaver in a championship game. So they've won championships. He's seen the best. He's coached Jeff Smith. He's coached Jed Smith. He's coached everybody in between. What is it that he loves about coaching the seniors group? And I asked him, I said, Wormy, what is your favorite part about coaching? Here was his response.
Well, you get to see the kids growing up. You keep them out of trouble. You see them grow up and turn into something like you, which you played for me, so you know that I love it, and I love the kids too.
The Wellborn seniors, like the juniors and sophomores, are gearing up for their Jamboree game this Saturday against Alexandria. I asked Wormy what he was hoping to see out of his seniors group this weekend when they go head-to-head against a very, very, very good Alexandria seniors group.
I just hope we show up. Well, we're still so far behind. We hadn't got a whole lot done. I just want us to show up and be able to go where we're supposed to be at.
David Wormy Haynes, 55 years as a youth football coach at Wellborn. I don't think you're going to find anybody else that has poured that much time and dedication into a program like David Wormy Haynes has poured into the Wellborn program. All right, hey, that's going to do it for us today. I want to thank you for watching our coverage of the Wellborn youth football programs. I want to remind you to tune into East Alabama Now News tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will bring you the news. John Holder has your weather, and I will have the sports. Other than that, we'll see you back here on the Locker Room on Thursday. That's going to do it for us. I'm Namath Pitts, and thank you for watching the Locker Room.